Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple. That's your no shit gaming news video. 3 news stories in one video with zero faff. Talking about The Last of Us these days on the internet is a very tricky topic, especially if you're trying to avoid all the spoilers that are out there. These spoilers hit the internet last week, and the story at the time that pretty much everyone took to be true was that it came from a disgruntled employee over a pay dispute. According to new information, that is apparently not true. Sony has spoken to media outlets such as GamesIndustry.biz and claimed that the leaker was not affiliated with Sony Interactive Entertainment or developer Naughty Dog. Sony Interactive Entertainment identified the primary individuals responsible for the unauthorized release of The Last of Us 2 assets. They are not affiliated with Naughty Dog or Sony Interactive Entertainment. This statement is about as hollow as PR messages get, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. The statement speaks in the present tense, saying they are not affiliated, not they were not, or never have been. This means it could have been an ex-employee or someone who has subsequently been fired, and the statement would still be accurate. However, based on new information, the current belief is that the leaks are the result of hackers breaching Naughty Dog's secure servers, and that it was not, in fact, a Naughty Dog employee, current or former.
We're being hacked.
I'm in.
Hackers infiltrating their servers is still not a good look for Sony or Naughty Dog, but there are other factors which make them look much worse, and I'll get to that shortly. Ultimately, this means that the claims about pay disputes are false, at least at the moment until any other information comes out to prove otherwise. According to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, his sources say that Sony and Naughty Dog have actually extended pay and healthcare benefits for contractors during the stellar sickness. He's been getting quite a lot of heat, and while some of it is deserved for his hypocrisy surrounding leaks, calling bullshit on this story while accepting the Crunch one is pretty stupid to me. Schreier's sources will be the same as those he spoke to about the Crunch story. People believe that one but are then choosing to ignore this one. Twitter user PixelButts posted a lengthy thread of a timeline for the leaks and how it all unfolded, citing his own sources, and it's well worth a look if you want to know more. They refer to their own sources and speak from experience with leaks and technical infrastructure, though I can't verify that. They also back up the idea that this was the work of an external hacker and that they gained access to the game via an Amazon AWS key and older Naughty Dog games like Uncharted 3 and the original The Last of Us. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this thread and the finer details of the leak because it's quite technical, but there is a link below and I really encourage you to follow it. Lots of people are calling bullshit on all this and claiming that Sony is just in damage control and lying about it, and yes, of course they are in damage control, they need to try and save face, but why would independent people lie about this stuff and having sources? All of these sources could be bullshit, and Schreier could just be shilling again, but why would he drag Naughty Dog and Sony's name through the mud with the scathing article about Crunch a few weeks ago, only to then say that it wasn't a Naughty Dog employee to try and make Sony look good? That just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to tell you that you should or shouldn't believe Sony's statement because the wording is deliberately non-specific, but you shouldn't disregard it just because someone on Reddit says so. Look at the evidence, ignore the conjecture, and make a judgment. In my mind, the disgruntled employee angle has no sources, but the hacker does, so I'm going with that one personally. Those sources could still be bullshit or lies, but at least there's something there. There's nothing to support the employee angle anymore, but plenty supporting the hacker angle. There is this article which claims to have its own sources which believe the leak did come from the inside, but the source didn't know that for certain and was just conjecture. This article is also dated before the hacker story was even mentioned. However, it does mention some interesting stuff about work conditions and cancel culture at the studio, which doesn't exactly paint a pretty picture. A hacker being behind it all isn't as controversial or juicy as a disgruntled employee, but it's the one with the most evidence, so it's the one I'm going to go with. But believe whatever you want to believe.
It's hacking time.
However, I'm not quite done with Sony yet. The leak may not have come from a Naughty Dog employee seeking revenge, but Sony is not in the clear and not entirely innocent. Showing the leaked assets will get you an instant DMCA takedown, and that's fair enough since the information is owned by Sony and for all intents and purposes, it's stolen goods. However, some channels that are just discussing the content of the leaks without showing any images have been hit with copyright strikes, and that's certainly not okay. This is an attempt at stifling criticism and comments against Sony since many of the leaks have been ill received by the internet. Being silenced for having an opinion is not acceptable and is a disgusting move by Sony and only serves to make things worse. It's the Streisand effect all over again. You make things worse by bringing attention to it. I've condemned the leaker for ruining the work of hundreds of people and spoiling a story fans have waited years for, and now I condemn Sony for this action. It is hypocritical and a morally wrong abuse of YouTube's garbage copyright system. I believe the story that the leaks came from a hacker, but that doesn't mean in any way I support how Sony has behaved in response. The conversation around The Last of Us Part 2 has been pretty unpleasant over the past few weeks, and it probably won't won't change for a while, but please don't spoil it for anyone, and be aware that there will probably be people spoiling it in the comments of this video. Moving on from the minefield that is The Last of Us, let's talk about what could become the next premier gaming event. E3 used to be the highlight of every gamer's summer. It was a week-long event filled with announcements, trailers and interviews where we'd all get to learn about the newest games coming out that year. Over the past few years, E3 has shifted from an industry-focused event for developers and press to just another marketing tool. Jeff Keighley was a key figure in the show, but even before this year's expo was cancelled due to the stellar sickness, he revealed he wouldn't be attending due to the direction the organizer, the ESA, was taking the event in. After setting up the Game Awards to be the biggest gaming event in the winter, Keighley has turned his eyes to the summer to fill the void left by E3 with Summer Game Fest. The event will run between May and August 2020 and will feature appearances from the likes of 2K Games, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Digital Extremes, Electronic Arts, Microsoft, Sony, Square Enix, Private Division, Riot Games, Steam, and Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. The event will effectively be a digital replacement for E3, with Keighley saying, "I found that it didn't have to be me on a shiny black floor stage hosting a show every day. It's more just like being a traffic cop to navigate all this for everyone and line things up." The overall aim of this event is to bring people together to celebrate games, and given all the bullshit that happens in the industry, this could be a great opportunity for some positivity. This could all fall flat on its face, of course, and be a bigger shit show than E3, but at least it's not being run by the ESA this time. Keighley is working with former E3 organisers I Am 8-Bit, who pulled out of the show back in March. Trailers and dev talks are all well and good, but Keighley is keen to bring as much playable content to the event as possible, despite everyone watching it from the comfort of their own homes. He believes the future is with streaming services like xCloud, which would allow for people to play the game they're currently watching on the stream. We're certainly not there yet, but it would be great if this was possible one day. He also assures that indie games will have a space at this event, but the whole thing is still a work in progress and things are still being figured out. Summer Game Fest may be just a one-off, but it's clear Keighley is trying to change the game, so I doubt it'll all be done and dusted never to return by August. E3 has been going down in gamers' estimations for years now, and while it's still relevant since thousands of people tune in and watch the trailers, Summer Game Fest could very easily take its place. I like all the trailers and seeing new games, but I hate how corporate E3 has become, and I could talk for hours about my problems with it, but Summer Game Fest sounds like what E3 should have become, rather than the shell of itself that it is. And finally, while Sony is having a real shit time of it with leaks and unfairly copy-striking people, the company is also getting heat from PS Plus subscribers. This game's free PS Plus games are Farming Simulator and City Skylines.
I thought my jokes were bad.
These are not exactly of the quality that some people expected, based on leaks that seem to suggest Dark Souls and the excellent Dying Light would be up for grabs. Some gamers aren't too happy about this poor showing and have launched a change.org petition because that's exactly the way to get results. At the time of writing, the petition has over 16,000 signatures protesting these games, but I wouldn't get your hopes up for any replacements. What do you think about these games? Are these offerings a complete joke, or are the people complaining just entitled crybabies? And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments, toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. I've been Henry Cooper, that's all for today, bye for now.